Welcome to the first in a series of Pixinsight guides to better help you process your data in the best way possible. Today we're going to be focusing on color calibration. This is often overlooked or just done wrong, but today we're going to clear some things up. And we have a nice set of example data here. Satyr region, specifically the Butterfly Nebula, or IC1318. Once we have our OSC image stacked and imported into Pixinsight, or our monochrome images combined into an RGB image, and have corrected any gradients present, we're going to start off with the first method of color calibration and the most often used. And this would be spectrophotometric color calibration. Now this is why we plate solved our image, so we can then use the Gaia DR3 star catalog to get the photometric measurements from the Gaia catalog and calibrate our image. In this tool or window, we want to select our filters that have been used. In my case, this would be ZWR for the R filter, ZWG, and so on and so forth. For a white reference, usually we can leave this default. If you have slightly too warm image or too cool image, changing this option can result in a better image. Coming down here, we can uncheck this. I usually don't worry about the graphs. I'm more worried about what the actual image is going to look like. We usually should be able to just leave this automatic limit magnitude toggled. If your calibration is failing, you can untoggle this and maybe set this to about 20. Background neutralization, we can leave this. We don't have to worry about that. Once we have this configured, we can then go ahead and click the box icon, make sure our window is selected, and hit apply. Now we can see we have a darker image now. Now we can see something's changed, but to see the real difference, if we undo this by pressing Ctrl-Z, and we just do a quick linked stretch using the screen transfer function, we can see the whole image is almost basically blue. This is why we've done a color calibration, because the channels are not aligned. The white point and the black point have not been set. Our channels are still uneven in terms of brightness. If we do an unlinked stretch, this gets a lot better. But we can see our stars are a lot more green than we want them. And now if we redo this with our color calibration, if we toggle the chain icon here to link the stretch, and we restretch it, we can see that the image is no longer a deep blue, and it has aligned our channels and adjusted the white point. Now what we want to do here, and this is what happens a lot of time with SPCC, is we want to unlink this, and we can see we have a lot of green here in the dust bits, and maybe this is a little bit too intense of a red. What you can do is to get the image in a direction you want it to color-wise, we can just go ahead and tweak this result here. When we unlink this, we can adjust each channel separately, the shadows, midtones, and highlights. I don't mess with highlights. That can quickly make things go bad. We want to focus on the shadows and the midtones. We can even bump blues up. Try to equalize the background as best as possible. Let some of that red come through. And we can see this is looking a lot better. Channels were way out of whack before. Now they're much more pleasant looking. If we zoom in, we can see the great star color we're getting already. Great blues, great oranges, nice balance. Now, if we go back, and let's say you either don't have the Gaia catalog installed at the moment, or you want to take things in a more thorough approach, we're going to go ahead and use the background neutralization and color calibration tools. Now these are the manual approach. We'll be making selections on our data as reference windows for each of these tools. We're going to start with background neutralization. And what this is going to do is just going to rely on a sample window that we draw, such as this. It's going to analyze each channel of that window and try to bring it as close to a neutral color as possible. So we're going to unlink this stretch again so we can see what we're doing. We're going to hit Alt-N, and we're going to draw a nice, decently sized window on some of the blackest areas of this image, anywhere where there's neutral dust, an area of the image that doesn't have a lot of signal. Either way, we want something that is supposed to be neutral. Once we have this preview, we're going to drag it into the reference image panel. Once we hit the square, it's going to apply that. We can link our stretch again. You can see our image is really red now, but it has gotten that background to a nicer color. We did link this and it is not blue anymore, so it's already done a lot of the work for us. Now for the color calibration panel, this is what we're going to adjust our white point with. So we want to find a star that is neutral as possible, and we want to place a sample box right over that star. We're going to drag that, drop it into the reference image. We're going to click apply. We can already see that it's adjusted the white point. It has done its best to neutralize the star, and we can see the difference here. It has toned down those reds, brought back some of the blues. We can see Satyr up there has a nice, more appealing hue. And if we restretch this, we can see it's looking much nicer. And sometimes if it's not 100% appealing, I can even go unlink this stretch and just adjust, do some tad adjustments to the actual image itself, and we can see the colors are looking superb. Let me know what kind of tutorials you guys would like to see more, and I hope these guides enable you to use the tools you have to the fullest potential and get the most out of your data. Clear skies.